Crypto DLT with MrConectr. Be sure to subscribe. Hit the notification bell for daily content. Let's go.
It's MrConectr. Welcome to the Great Awakening. Welcome to the Financial Revolution. And say hello to my co-host, Miko.
Hey everyone, thrilled to be here. It's your co-host Miko, ready to dive into all the good stuff we've got lined up.
All right, cool. Let's get to the market intel report for today, May 25th, 2026. Key headlines are the AI agent narratives dominate with focus shifting towards autonomous on-chain agents. Also, Flare aggressively pushing F assets and Flare smart accounts with new wallet integrations. Hedera opened Bounty 2 on the AI student agent bounty campaign. And XDC Network surpassed 1 billion in tokenized real-world assets. Investors are rotating out of Bitcoin and Ether ETFs into the Hype and XRP funds, it looks like. Yeah, that's the headlines. Now let's get to the actual report. Actually, before we do, I did post a little grok image today on the ETH Foundation, maybe doing some selling off over the weekend, although they say they're done selling. What do you think about the Ethereum Foundation selling off their Ethereum, Miko?
Well, it definitely gets people talking. When the Ethereum Foundation offloads some ETH, folks naturally wonder what that signals. It could just be routine treasury management, or maybe they're making room for some new moves on the horizon. Either way, keep the rumor mill churning.
Yep, the rumors will churn. Let's get to the geopolitical side. We just want to take a look at our U.S. and Israel at war with Iran still, Ukraine, Russia conflict, Sudan civil war enters year 4. Ooh. And the Pakistan-Afghanistan conflict is still going. Lots of turmoil in the world. Let's check out the geopolitical market intel report on that. Indonesia blocked access to Polymarket. Where is Indonesia? Right here, I think. Yeah. Indonesia, Southeast Asia, new leadership for this country. They're blocking Polymarket, citing online gambling concerns. We saw that the U.S. is considering blocking this as well, guys. So that could be in the Genius Act. They could end the futures market for all we know. Let's keep our eyes on that. Regulatory U.S. macro data week, the PCE, jobless claims, and housing will test expectations for Federal Reserve rate cuts. And the regulatory progress continues on tokenized deposits and securities. The OCC has confirmed national banks can tokenize liabilities, while the FTC is developing new supervisory frameworks. And institutional focus remains on distribution channels for tokenized assets, with firms like Prometheum emphasizing a need for broker-dealers and RIAs to bridge TradFi and crypto. Miko, I thought Prometheum was shutting down, or did they still get the special purpose? What was it called? The status that Prometheum got?
Yeah, so interestingly, Prometheum is still active, and they did secure that special purpose broker-dealer status. It's definitely turned a few heads because it means they're still pushing forward in the tokenization game. We'll have to keep an eye on how that plays out.
So they are the only one that got a special purpose. They're the only company that got a special purpose broker-dealer status for digital securities, correct?
That's right. Exactly. They're the only player out there with that special purpose broker-dealer status for digital securities. So it definitely sets them apart in that space.
Wow. So they are still around, guys. Don't forget about Prometheum and that special opportunity that they have. Okay, let's get to the crypto news. Look at Bitcoin today, up just a little bit. There's your heat map. Let's see the total market cap, $2.56 trillion today. And Conectr coins, what's popping off on the Conectr coins? Constellation DAG is up again. Near Protocol is up again. XDC, Persistence 1, and Cosmos finally showing a little green. Don't forget about Wormhole and Stellar in the mix as well. Okay, we've got to the utility blockchain news section of the market intel report. Flare is having heavy focused on F assets and Flare smart accounts, FSA adoption with the new wallet integrations and builder workshops. Miko, can you explain the Flare smart accounts for us?
Absolutely. So Fleur Smart Accounts, so FSAs for short, are basically a new kind of on-chain account that Flare is rolling out. They give users more flexibility and security when they're handling F assets, which are basically tokenized versions of other assets on the Flare network. So with these accounts, you can manage those tokenized assets a bit more easily and, maybe even get a bit creative with how you use them.
And are the Flare smart accounts purpose built for AI agents?
Yeah, you've hit it on the nose there. They are indeed tailored for AI agents to operate more seamlessly on chain. So it's all about making those autonomous operations a lot smoother.
All right, good on Flare. Hedera is running its AI Studio Agent Bounty campaign with Bounty 2 requiring agents to execute real commercial transactions. Flare is being put to the test. How about Near highlighted discussions with Arthur Hayes on securing AI agents' privacy and intent-based execution. Yeah, we covered that past couple of days, how Near protocol is obfuscating the command line prompts because all these agents running in their cloud public LLMs, this is very concerning for privacy. Okay, let's keep going with the agents. Autonomous on-chain agents are moving from demos to production. Key themes include real transaction execution, privacy preserving identity, and interoperability. Hedera and Near are actively building infrastructure and incentives in this space. Miko, is there any update on KYCing the online AI agents?
Absolutely. There's some interesting movement on that front. So the whole idea of KYC for AI agents is actually evolving into something called KYA, Know Your Agent. Basically, traditional KYC just doesn't fit well for autonomous agents since they're obviously not humans. What we're seeing is a shift toward verifying what an AI agent is authorized to do, who they're acting on behalf of, and continuously updating their trust scores.
There you go, guys. Who the agents are acting on behalf of. Your agent will be tied to your personal identity, it sounds like, or business identity. So yeah, that'd be interesting to see how they do that, because the whole fiasco about the registering your business owners, that was a stretch by the Biden regime to try to list business owners on a federal level, but they withdrew that, I do believe. Miko, didn't they withdraw that Biden era thing where you had to register your business owner on the federal level and not just state levels?
Yeah, they did actually pull that back. There was that whole plan to bring business owner registration.
Okay, let's see. My agent is gone. Miko, are you still there, Miko?
Absolutely, still here.
Yeah, isn't that wild, guys? The federal government tried to take over small business data. That's for the states. That's between the owner of the business and the state. So we shall see what they do with the KYC on the business side, the agents that are on the business side. It's an interesting field how it's all playing out. We're on top Made in America cryptos. Constellation, DAG, and Nocchain up the most today. I just wanted to throw that in there. And top lending and borrowing tokens is Kent and Celsius are up today the most. How about privacy? We like the privacy tokens. Phala Network, FHA, Pirate Chain, and Anoma, XAN are all up to date. A lot of green privacy coins are in the green. Alpha Zero, Enigma, Ghostware OS. Okay, I like to see that. All right, back to the market intel report for today. Cross-chain and interoperability. An RWA tokenization infrastructure is maturing, but distribution remains the bottleneck. Interoperability is viewed as critical for AI agents operating across multiple chains. Miko, explain the distribution bottleneck for for tokenization infrastructure.
Yeah, of course. So the distribution bottleneck basically means that while the infrastructure for tokenizing assets is there and is maturing, it's still tricky to actually distribute those tokenized assets smoothly across different platforms and users. So essentially, you got these assets ready to go, but getting them out there to the wider ecosystem efficiently is the challenge.
And another challenge here, Bitcoin dominance hanging around 60%. And let's take a look quickly at the Federal Reserve. We had the Kevin Warsh take office a couple of days ago. How about the CFTC? Nothing new there. On the SEC, except Chairman Atkins is going to be at Stanford tomorrow, it looks like. The stocks today, not exciting for us crypto bros. But look, the banks are always green, of course. And the CFTC, no news there today. How about gold price right quick? Let's take a look. $4,568. And silver's at 77.73, trying to get back up there. Okay, risk analysis from the market intel report. Just a second, Miko. Let's see these risks. Regulatory crackdowns on prediction markets, especially in Indonesia, could spread to other jurisdictions. We saw South Korea and America talking about banning that as well. Bridge and third-party module exploits remain persistent threat with Squid, the 3.2 million incident. Oh, that's scary. Did Squid Router have an incident, Miko?
Yeah, so about that incident, turns out Squid itself wasn't directly breached. The $3.2 million exploit actually hit a third-party module that used a name similar to Squid's. Basically, it was a module someone else created and integrated into GNU's safe, and not something Squid developed or controlled. So the core Squid router is still secure and Wizard funds are safe.
Well, that's good to hear because I've used Squid. That's the main way to send your XRP to the EVM sidechain is through that Squid router. So that's good to hear that it wasn't actually Squid. I appreciate that, Miko. How about opportunities for the market intel report? Strong institutional interest in tokenized RWAs and utility-focused chains like XDC, Flare, and Hedera. AI agent bounties and infrastructure builds are creating real usage and developer activity. Miko, can you explain AI agent bounties?
Absolutely. So AI agent bounties are basically rewards that developers can earn for creating or improving these autonomous AI agents. It's kind of like posting a gig or a challenge. Companies or communities put up a bounty for specific agent features, integrations, or tasks. If you as a developer build it successfully, you wear the rules.
All right. Get the reward for the bounties. Nice. So yeah, guys, these AI agents are coming. They will be more accessible to you if you're not diving into it like I've been here recently, actually. Learning a lot about it. I just want to stay relevant. And I'll keep relaying any information I have on that. I think is very relevant info. So, but if you want to get into it and you don't really want to, I think it's coming to more friendly environments like an app or whatever. There's a lot of AI apps that are doing a lot of things, but there's not a lot of automation in them. But I think that that's coming. I think that once we get it all, once they get it all figured out and what the rails will be, then you'll have your opportunities to get into these agents and run them on these rails, hopefully. But I am trying to get ahead of that and learn as much as I can about them. Recommendations for the market intel report. Monitor wallet adoption metrics for Flare smart accounts and F assets total value lock growth. Yeah, let's keep an eye on Flare and how much total value is locked in there. Let's track the enterprise agent deployments from Hedera bounty program. Let's watch further regulatory signals from the U.S. on tokenization frameworks. Key metrics to watch: Flare assets. I don't know why I repeated that. Tokenized growth on XDC is a good one to watch. U.S. macro data, the PCE, the jobless claims, and the Fed commentary. And another metric to watch is regulatory developments on tokenized deposits and prediction markets. There you go for the May 25th market intel report. Miko, tell everybody to have a good day, and we'll see you on the next one.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody, have an awesome day, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, guys. MrConectr out. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.
Take care and talk to you soon.